Are you? Is that light on over there?
The light's on the camera. There's a stick in it, and we're recording.
Welcome back to another episode of the Briefcase in the Barn, episode 64, the series of the Furious Show, where we talk about business, life, Christianity, and more. I got Ollie here because Mom is gone, and we got to record. So
Yeah, just the timing. It's interesting because I actually had my youngest most of the day, or I shouldn't say most of the day, but
Dom?
until lunchtime. Yeah, Dominic came with me to a couple different meetings, looking at some equipment for the auction, and then I took him to Abbey's stockyards to
So you still
buy
on the
some
phone all
Jersey
day
cows.
when he's with
With
you?
him, well, he yells a lot, but I mean, I yell a lot too, so it's a toss-up. What's worse, him screaming in the back or me yelling at you? I don't know. Some people prefer to hear him. Some people say, "Shut the baby off."
Okay, but he doesn't mind because usually if I'm on my phone with my kids around, they start beacon off.
I don't know. It's like, hey, he's happy to come along for the ride.
Okay.
He doesn't, like, he's almost 3. He'll be 3 in January, and he doesn't dialogue. Like, he just yells, "Hey, Dad! Hey, Dad! Hey, Dad!" nonstop.
Okay.
Like, and then, like, I'm like, "What, Dom?" And then he says it again and again. Airplane. Knows his things. Very observant. Kids are very observant.
They are. They know everything's going on.
They're watching. They're watching.
Just like Ollie's watching you right now.
No, he's watching the scary cutout of you. For those that are listening to this and not watching, Kyle has his logo from his show here, and it's some weird avatar young guy picture, not resembling him in any way.
It wasn't supposed to be me when
No?
I got it made. No.
Oh, okay. Well, because it's got the hair's kind of the same, but
Yeah.
pretty small nose.
Any good feedback from today's podcast that came out? Did you get anything?
I don't even remember what we talked about, but it said something about tractors. Did we talk about tithing again? Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh
Man.
what was the? Well, it started off of me eating with my mouth open. I kept that in. Like,
Did you keep it all in?
Yeah, I kept it all in.
Okay.
And then, women's weight. And I put that in the trailer as well. So I was curious if you got any feedback on that.
No, because I didn't go there, right? I debriefed with my wife again when I got home after recording, talking about it. And yeah, I tried to communicate, like articulate what I thought I should say, and then I just got shut down, skewered. So I'm like, let her talk about it sometime.
Fair enough. Anyways, the live event went super well. Got a ton of really good feedback.
I heard good things about it too.
Yeah, people were really excited. They thought it went better than they expected. So
that's a backhanded compliment, eh? That's what people always say to me too. Oh, that went better than I thought it would when you were doing that.
So we'll have to do a Briefcase in the Barn.
Yeah, a live event.
Yeah.
I think people are ashamed that they listen to the Briefcase in the Barn, though. So I don't know if we'll definitely have anybody come out and.
I think there is a percentage. I think
there's a percentage of people that are real closet listeners.
Yes, yeah. There's a whole bunch that I have no problem.
And then there's still a large swath of people that are very close to me that refuse to listen because it's me. Which, fair enough.
What does it say about you?
I think they just know I think I'm probably just
know
one step more honest and nauseating. Find me nauseating.
Fair enough.
Listen to me already, like at family gatherings. They're not going to listen to me on the side. It was, the feedback I got about your event with Trey, I mean, people really appreciated his parenting stories. I mean, I've only listened to him a little bit and met him there, shook his hand for the first time in person the other night. I don't know how charismatic you would say he is. Do you think he's charismatic? Not really, right? Like, he's pretty, so like, it's not as if he's, engaging in the sense of like he's not trying to be entertaining, right?
No,
he's just
he's not.
very matter of fact.
Very matter of fact.
And so obviously the content's great. Direct, blunt. Whereas, I mean, he's also not going to offend. He's not going to say things like I would that are like quote unquote funny, but super offensive, right?
Yeah.
So there's always that balance when you're.
And he does have some crazy stories
speaking.
too. He tries really, or he just almost rarely talks about his military stories. But there was a few questions in the Q&A about it. Like he was shared a little bit about like flying over a street in Iraq at like 75 feet with an F-18.
Crazy, man. Crazy, terrifying for people there too. Could you imagine?
Oh,
an American fighter pilot fly over your house when you're some kid in the Middle East?
No,
Brutal.
I can't. New business in Chilliwack that a buddy of mine just started. You know Justin Duluth?
Yes.
So he's a full-time firefighter, but he started Just Trend Construction. So he's a mini excavator. Okay. His mini work. and then and then he rents it out as well. So like grading, landscaping, roadways, trenches, all that kind of stuff like that. So I thought I'd mention him on the air just to give him a little boost if anybody needs some work done. He's a great guy,
and he will rent out his machine as well. So if you're looking just to rent a mini, I don't know what his terms and conditions are. I'd be a little scared to rent out a nice mini, but
I'm sure it'll be good. But he has a lot of experience. He's worked at a construction company for a long time. And so 604-845-0506. That's Justin's number if you want to use him.
Sweet.
So, who do you use usually for like all the little odds and ends work? Do you have a mini yourself?
I don't.
No?
I don't. And I want to own one, but I'm a little worried that the kids will just start digging apart the whole yard. I mean, I kind of want them to, but also I'm terrified of what will happen if I see how much carnage they do. Yeah, I think it's healthy for kids to be around equipment and running machines. Like our oldest boy's 11, he knows how to run a tractor to some degree.
Or like your house on Sunday night when people were
that was dangerous.
Whipping around.
That was dangerous.
Side by side.
They were on a side by side in the dark, and there's a lot of kids on that thing. But good, clean fun, right? I mean, yeah. And we're like slowly. Well, of course, Sky wants to go on there too with her 2 broken arms, right? And just causes a lot of consternation. And
what's it like to be helped rather than being the helper? Because you're always in the position of helping other people, and now you're in the position of receiving help. Is that harder for you?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Even in a situation like this?
Yeah, because I just think, hey, I want to save the help for like when we really, really need it, for like when I dropped out of a jam or something.
Okay.
And Marie's a widow with 6 kids.
So you think people will only help?
No,
won't
that's
help?
how I feel.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, man, please save this goodwill. So much goodwill too. People are so generous. It's so humbling. It's very humbling. It's really special.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting. I've always said this to Marie, just the way that it's worked helping people over the years. It's never reciprocal, right? It's like, this person helps this person and these people, like, it's never like, it's not a give and take. It's a really cool picture of how things are probably spiritually, how they are. Yeah. Just, you know what, when you feel just be spirit led. If you feel like, hey, I should, and there doesn't even need to be a need.
Yeah.
I think that a lot in our time, it's like, oh, they put a meal train out. Listen, you can bring a meal to someone if they're not.
Exactly.
You just look at their life and be like, oh my word, if I was that family, I'd be drowning. Yeah. Hey, just say, hey, can I bring it? Like, it's really special. So we have had that too. Outside of this, people have been really good to us. And
or just babysit for someone. Like we had a while back, someone just, I think it was even from a birthday.
Just to give you a date night out?
Yeah. And another time.
We have that too. Ernie and Tamiko do that for us. Okay. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Literally just show up and put all our kids to bed. And in our house, like, it's hard to put kids to bed.
Yeah.
Like, we have babysitters quit, right? At the end of the night, you come home, they look very angry, and they're like, that's the last time.
Really?
Yeah.
And this is not, but it's not something you use all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes they come back, but they also just quit.
Yeah.
Marie's like, okay, we got to quit asking this girl. Quit asking her. She's obviously just doing it very...
Hopefully she doesn't listen to the pod and just feel terrible right now.
Doesn't matter. She can handle it. No names mentioned.
Okay, you got what do you got to talk about? We're not doing Gentle and Lowly today.
No,
because I didn't read it and I'm totally not prepared. Interestingly, though, actually on that note, that would be kind of underneath the same banner of what that book talks about. What's the first time God describes himself in the Bible? How do you think he describes himself?
Does he describe himself right in the very beginning?
No, he doesn't. It's a little later on. But when we think the Old Testament God,
he might have said he's slow to anger.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, so it's in Exodus 34, verse 6. It's when in the time of Moses, I think it's around Mount Sinai, and so the verse says, "The Lord passed before him and proclaimed, the Lord, a God, merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness." That's how God describes himself.
Okay.
And then in our heads, our pea brains, we think Old Testament God.
Angry.
Well,
he is angry too. Angry all the time.
Of course. But that's how he describes himself. And I think it's just so important that we start understanding who God is most likely to be. Ollie's just checking things out.
It's really funny.
How you liking the sermon series at church through the...
I wasn't there for the baptism one, and I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay.
What did you think of it?
Baptism one bores me.
Why is that?
That topic just
over talked about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't feed my soul. I don't feel closer to Christ or more convicted of my sin.
Yeah.
The
Lord's Supper, the communion one here this last week, I thought was great. I think it was very balanced.
It's interesting. So we had Jorge Salazar in the evening because I went to the 5:15 service, and he explained the verse that if you take communion and you're not a Christian, you're heaping condemnation on yourself.
Yeah.
And so that it was taught that way growing up as well. And so it actually held a lot of people back from going to take communion or Lord's Supper because they didn't want to do that. So they just err on the side of caution.
Err on the side of caution.
And just,
that's a great way to say it.
And just not take it.
Totally.
And so interesting is that R.C. Sproul says it's actually not that, meaning he says it's that if it's a Christian living in sin, someone that's already saved that's living in sin that goes to communion.
Well, it's probably both end would be my guess. No.
Yeah, I guess. I just thought it was interesting, the two variations. And
I know my instant response to that is, because I have really struggled with that, assurance. And he did a good job, I thought, because I thought he was totally disagreeing with what I taught. He talked about having like...
Jorge taught in the morning too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Did all three. And he talked about, he was preaching through that text. He was talking about that and talked about similar how we've been taught... we've talked about it at Freedom Session where it's like, okay, and this is the part I don't feel like we do a good enough job at at any church talking about, where it's like there's another verse in the Bible somewhere where God says, hey, if you have any problem with a brother or sister, and not just a brother or a sister, in your family, like with another fellow believer, if you have a problem with anybody, drop your gift at the altar, so to speak, and go make it right, like before you come to the Lord. And I feel like we just don't do that. I know hundreds of people that call themselves Christians that don't talk to a parent. There again, and it's not always that person's fault, and some people have tried it. There's all the 1,000 explanations, but lots of people are fine just being resentful because they feel they've been wronged, and they don't wrestle through that kind of forgiveness piece. And so I thought, I guess when I'm at church and I see communion, especially there again, it's so different where we go, because the bulk of the people are professing their faith and they're saying they're Christians. And of course, how we grew up, it wasn't that way. There was a lot of, there again, just the way it's done with the table, like it's beautiful. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just feel like, man, the amount of judgment and the amount of unsaved people there that are critiquing, like it's just disaster, right? In my opinion, I think it's a disaster. It's not meant to be that, right? Like obviously it's not even, they don't mean it to be that. That's just what it becomes because of the people.
I mean, on that note
critical.
too, he said like people won't attend because they believe they're living in sin. So then they don't take part of communion. But he's like, just repent then. Yeah,
so that was where that's the piece I was getting at.
Yeah.
So then he just said, stop doing it, right? And I thought that was interesting.
An excuse.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Because probably people err on the side of just never going.
Yeah.
Because they're struggling with sin, which is not right either.
No,
like we as Christians are going to, and I mean, I just think that the devil will use anything he can to get you in a spot where you're doubting, right?
Yes.
And what really struck me, and I don't know if this resonates with you, but I have felt, or I have come to believe that when I am in that headspace of not feeling worthy, I'm just thinking way too highly of myself and way too low of God. I'm thinking way too much about it depends on me and not near enough of understanding how gracious God is, right? Instead of just being totally humbled and repentant, I'm like, I just got to do something a little more. And like, God does not need any of our help to save us, right? And we just have this weird, there again.
We have the most lack of assurance when we start thinking we're supposed to be someone.
Yeah, and there again, obviously our life the sanctification should be happening. I just think that they're two totally separate journeys, right?
What's on the basis of your faith?
No.
Jesus is the basis of your faith.
Yeah, so we really have this idea of, hey, we got to look a certain way. And I still struggle with that, where it's just like, man, and it hit home during that service where there's areas of my life, my language, things like that are just disaster. It's like, oh man, I feel such just failure, right? And so unworthy. But yeah, God is gracious, and I think that, like he said it really well. Just repent, make things right. And like in Freedom Session, Ken would say, hey, as much as it depends on me, I've made right with others, right?
Yeah.
And when you have that posture, and most people want to live in harmony. Like we assume that as soon as we have an issue with somebody that they're happy that we're, hey, we're both angry at each other. No, most people of course some people don't, but most people want to get along, right?
And also, if you're not talking for a while, you start creating stories in your head and making it bigger than it actually is. Like communication.
It's not even real. Pretty soon it's not even real.
Yeah, communication's always the better route. I mean, it's not always possible, but it's like you should at least be trying.
At least try, right? Put an effort in. It was interesting too. I had so I did not come to the event on Saturday night because I had committed to going to a birthday party.
Yeah, murder mystery.
Dressed
up as
Very
the
weird.
Office.
Yeah.
Clown. I'll see if I can get a picture.
There is a picture of all. It's really funny. There's a bunch of people that you would know there. I have never watched The Office.
Yeah.
And I had a pretty main character. My name was Jim, and Marie was Pam, I think.
Okay.
And,
I think they dated, right?
They're definitely, I mean, I went on ChatGPT and tried to ask what would Jim act like, and then I tried to act like that, but I mean, I was really struggling. But so I didn't even, it's only the second murder mystery I've ever been to. It's always at the same
So what's
people's house.
explain to the listeners what a murder mystery thing is.
Yeah, so
I've never.
You've never been at one either?
No.
Okay. So people either love them or hate them, and I hate them, right?
Yeah.
But
I
I
definitely
like
hate
the
it.
people whose birthday it was, so I wanted to be a good sport, so we went. But the Marie loves them because Marie loves escape rooms, and you don't like escape rooms
No,
either.
terrible.
Yeah, like
Like, what do you do? Like, there's no point.
no, just expend your
And then you have
energy.
to work with
expend
somebody on figuring out a problem.
yeah,
But
with
they're
your
already-
wife, which is difficult.
I just rather just delegate it. Be like, you figure it out. I'll watch.
Let me know what the answer is. Let me know how to get out of this place. So murder mystery is basically where there's like a whole story, and then there's a murder that happens,
Yeah.
a fictitious one,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So it's not quite as serious as
Yeah.
it could be. It could be a lot more real, but it's a fictitious one. And the person writes a whole
You should
story.
make it way more real.
Well, it was interesting because the last one we went to was not based on like real characters. Like it was something that they had made up.
Okay.
And it was like a whole scene and they described it really well. And there it was easier to play the part because in this case, everyone knew what The Office was except me.
Okay.
Or I mean, other people weren't super knowledgeable either.
Yeah.
But it was just this like, before, then you could just kind of make up your character. And like, I was a bad guy in the other one and I did bring a gun, right? And it was in somebody's backyard in town and it was like, it was entertaining, right? Like the neighbors are watching and people are getting all worked up. But it's just like the idea of playing a character, basically there's a murder that happens, right? In
Yeah.
this, and then you have to try solve who actually committed the murder by asking questions.
So
and
all night you're doing this. You're hanging out, eating.
You're
food.
communicating, you're having food, you're asking questions, and you can tell the people that are into it and are good at it, right? Like Marie's running around asking all these pointed questions and like really, got a pretty good clue
Mission, have a
on the
mission.
story. Yeah, and understands the story. Me, I'm just sitting there really
Oh,
confused.
you're told to have a mission. You're like, I've been told to do something. I'm going to do something else.
That's right. That's right. Ollie, is this podcast over? Are we done? Are we
done, Ollie? Are we totally done here? Yeah.
He's pretty happy.
Talk to the audience.
He's pretty happy, man.
You tell
You
him.
would not get one of my kids on my lap for that 15 or 20 minutes to save your life. He's a cute kid. Do you think he's hungry, Kyle?
I have no idea.
Anytime somebody's unhappy, I give them food.
Okay,
That's my answer
I'm
to
gonna
all
take
problems.
a little pause here, and we'll get some.
Get a bottle for this kid or something.
Can you hold him a second?
Here, buddy. Oh yeah, I got a lot of cow poop on me. I came straight from the barn. Ooh. A bottle for you? You like a bottle? Okay. Interrupt this podcast to feed a baby. How old is he?
6 months, 20 pounds.
Solid, man. Solid. Quickly, give him the bottle. Quickly. He's panicking. Can you hold it? No, not yet.
Yeah, you can. Let's go half the time. Can you look at my notes? Because there was one thing I want to talk about.
I had other stuff too.
Okay, what do you have?
What did you have in your notes that you want to talk about?
It's been on the notes for a while. So you ever heard the book Around the Wicket Gate by Charles Spurgeon?
No. Well, I've heard of it, but I've never read it.
So it's a great book, especially for people that come from Dutch Reformed backgrounds that are struggling with assurance, because it's talks about people that only know about Jesus Christ, I think is the subtitle, and struggle with assurance and hyper-Calvinism and things like that. And so I've always been pretty passionate about this topic. I really, I thought I was going to be an NRC pastor when I was 21. Instead, I became a cheater.
Okay.
Because God showed me, got through my hard head, hey, buddy, you need me, I don't need you.
Yeah.
But I loved that book. So I sent that book out to every elder and deacon in North America of the
In the denomination.
NRC denomination, with a bunch of friends who did it, and sent a letter with it. I tried to be really respectful in the letter and not controversial and stuff like that. Which
You were 21, so probably wasn't.
I was a little older, I think, at the time.
wasn't.
But I was probably 28, 27 at the time.
Okay.
Maybe a little younger, whatever. I mean, my standard of what respectful is probably not the same standard
No,
for other people.
but your edge is coming off. I'll give you credit. My edge is coming off too, slowly.
Slowly.
It's a journey.
Sanctifying. Yeah, I thought I'd share that story on here. But we got some pretty good feedback. We didn't put our email on the address, so we just got some letters back, and some people got a hold of me and appreciated it. One church though sent a letter back, said, please don't ever do that
Don't
again.
send us stuff. No.
Consistory send them.
So, but would they be opposed to that? But they wouldn't be opposed to Spurgeon, would they?
Yeah, I think a lot of them would be.
They
yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I probably should have sent John Bunyan's book, Come and Welcome to Jesus Christ.
Because that's somebody they approve of? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that title, is still pretty startling for a lot of people with those backgrounds.
It's funny how and I think everybody's like this, no matter where you come from. It's like there's ways that things are said that we're comfortable with, and then that's how it needs to be said.
Yeah.
And something could be said a bit differently. It's just like right away we're like short circuiting because it's just like I find that even like
I remember
socially
my dad
or
told
politically where it's just like, oh, that's a term that's a term that means something to me, and then now I don't approve
Write
of
it off.
or write the person off, even worse.
Yeah.
So that came up on Saturday night because there was a person, I think a lady who listens pretty faithfully, very, very smart lady, and she definitely doesn't agree with us on some of our stances politically.
Yeah.
And it was just...
She's a big Trump fan, right?
Yeah, she's a big Trump fan. I don't think she's a big Trump fan. We talked a lot about, like, she would struggle the way I would struggle with Christian nationalism. And I don't even, like I say, in Canada, it's not as much of a thing. And a lot of our listeners probably have that bent. But just the idea of like, hey, if you are a Christian, you will vote this way. This is how you vote. There's no way you could vote any other way. Right?
Yeah.
And not even that. I just think she would call herself maybe the term a moderate, which, there again, that can mean a lot of things. But just the idea of, what she did appreciate is that we're open to, especially you, probably even more than me, but you're always questioning, you're dialoguing. And I thought it was really cool. Like, I think it's cool when somebody can listen to something like this or whatever, any podcast, where they don't agree with everything that the people are talking about, right?
That's healthy.
It's healthy.
That's how you learn. When
well,
everyone thinks the same, no one thinks at all.
Yeah, that's a great say.
Yeah. When everyone thinks the same, no one thinks at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, back to the sayings and stuff like that. So I remember my dad telling me that if he would never have opened a sermon with "Beloved in the Lord Jesus Christ," because that's assuming that everyone's saved.
Yeah.
But the baptism form starts with "Beloved in the Lord Jesus Christ," which is really accepted. And so it's like they just get used to certain things, whatever being
in certain
way.
places.
And then it's like, well, you can't change that. So we're going to have to make it work.
So do you think, this is a question related to that with forms, because I was talking to some guys about this the other day with the profession of faith form and baptism form. Do you think that in church, like in the church where we came from, do you think at the time when they created the profession of faith form that people were professing their faith and most people would have been saved then?
Yes.
Okay, and it just turned into, hey, we escalated our emphasis on
yeah. Well, I think it became from like there was such a response to, like, even like when the NRC split with the HRC in 1993, you had more of like the gospel leaning believers or more open to the gospel leaning believers that left, and then the other one stayed, and then you usually have a response to the other side, right? So you go more extreme one way.
Yeah.
And so I think as there was a push against like easy believism or like, not deceiving yourself.
Just the idea of the gospel being so open.
Yeah, then, okay, so then it's like people will struggle with their faith a lot more, and so then they don't really know if they're saved or not, and then all of a sudden it like gets gray, right? If you can baptize or not, and then it just goes another step, because you want your kids to, just like in evangelical church, I think people get baptized too quick as an adult because their parents want them to get baptized.
They're pushed, yeah,
and
totally.
They say they're a believer when maybe they're not. I think
I find it fascinating because I have been at a wide spread of churches in the last 25 years of my life, and I still go to a wide spread of churches, and it's fascinating how there again, I think I'm probably in one ditch to some degree. I wouldn't even know which one because I just wouldn't know. You can't see it clearly yourself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be, but I think I am. But I think I do feel like just listening, well, even to the sermon on Sunday, it's like, hey, this is something that we could talk about more. And I feel like at our church is pretty balanced. I feel like, hey, the gospel invitation is open, but at the same time, listen, if your life is not lining up, if your actions are not lining up with what's coming out of your mouth, like,
you're not a Christian.
You really got to be questioning, right? Yeah. Or, there's this, hey, where is your heart at, right?
I don't think the Bible leaves space for, like, you to keep living in your sin. Like it
not comfortably.
That's why it says, like, I believe in perseverance of the saints, once saved, always saved. But I also believe that the Bible says, endure to the end, right? Which is a threat in a way to say that, like, hey, hold on to Christ, make that your priority. If it said, like, once you're saved, you're always saved, and you don't need to really worry about it anymore, Well, then...
Well, that just disagrees with too many other scriptures, right?
That too, but
Yeah.
like, so it's not a... Like, it's same with like Hebrews 12 says, run the race that is set before you with endurance and cast off every sin and weight that holds you back while looking unto Jesus. And I got this from Piper, but it's like every sin and weight that holds you back. And often the question is asked, like, is this sin? But that's like the lowest bar question you can ask. It's not, is this sin? Is it, does this help me run? And so cast off every sin and weight. So there's obviously things in our lives that aren't sins, that are weights that keep us from running the race and looking to Jesus.
Yeah.
And so it's never a question, is this sin? Does it help me run? Does it make me more Christ-like, more godly, more real? Because otherwise you're just looking for how close can you get to the line, right? How much can you get away with stuff? That's not the point.
Yeah, that would be a weird question to ask. As a Christian, what can I get away with?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Exactly. Yeah. And how much? But it's also believing then that like Jesus isn't better. It's not more like when you believe in Christ, you believe that He is more enjoyable than sin is, right? It's not like you have to be a Christian. If you have to,
There
I mean,
again,
you're
that's
not always
something
there, but you're like because
Yeah.
we're fighting that. But like because the lie, of course, is that sin is
enticing,
and
it can be in the moment. Yeah,
yeah,
totally
and Satan
can.
lies. But yeah, like Jesus is our ultimate affection. Sorry to the listeners, you're gonna hear some squawking again because the bottle's done.
He's doing pretty good. He's pretty happy. He's really getting shook up over there, giving me the stink eye. Hey.
Okay, you had a couple things.
Well, I was just going to, it was funny. I had talked about my margins or how my margins weren't that great. I've got quite a bit of feedback about that. I continue to get feedback as people listen to that episode.
Okay, yeah, this morning.
This morning.
I was on a call right before you came in, and I asked for the guy I was talking to. I'm like, "You got any topic ideas?" And he said, "Yeah, tell Gary to raise his prices on his mechanic rates,
charge more money." Yeah, I think people are just feeling sorry for me, right? Because I'm a little short on cash. But I had somebody else text me today too, giving me pointers and tips. So I got to call him back, and it's fascinating how there are businesses.
Okay, so people get here. Here's a question for the listeners. Help me, saying, how can I communicate better the value that my coaching offers?
Okay.
There's a question. If
Kyle always feels at a disadvantage because I'm out and about meeting. He's mostly works from home.
Yes.
And I talk to many people every day, and I get a lot of feedback. And even at the murder mystery, like if that came out of left field, right?
Yeah.
Random lady sharing their comments, right? But I appreciate it. Like, and I think I always ask every time, hey, what could we do better? Or any criticism and people are just too kind, man.
A lot of people just like it. I did actually got some criticism on Saturday night, my event with Trey. The one criticism I got was that it was not deep enough on one topic. Like it was like too surface level and like it bounced around too much and stuff like that. Okay. And I mean, yeah, so I can see that. I mean, that's very much what this show is. It's bouncing around like a freaking...
yeah, but it doesn't matter, man.
I know it doesn't matter.
That's how my brain works.
Like
I feel this is the most focused I get all day is when I sit on this podcast. The rest of the day, I'm like a decapitated chicken running around.
On that note, I'm still looking for a marketing manager for a
company,
big company here that will manage all that marketing, not do the work themselves, be the director of it, and manage the budget, and need to have a little bit of a.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not that loud.
You'd have a little bit of know the farming industry and
it's ag related.
It's ag related and stuff like that. Okay. So if you're it's almost $1 million budget you would manage though. Depending on experience, anywhere from like 100 to 100.
I will say, while I'm thinking of it, because this will come out next week, the following week, October 15th, Wednesday night, open invite to the community. Yeah. Beekman Auctions is having their fall equipment sale. Yeah, your buddy Steve just texted me today. What job do I want to do at the auction? Did you tell him you wanted to run the mechanical bull?
I should tell him that.
I thought we would charge for the rides and then have it be a fundraiser for a nonprofit.
Okay. How much would you charge for it? $10?
No, because it's like 8 seconds, right? Can you charge $10 for 8 seconds?
Oh,
people pay more for less. Yeah, go to the fair. That's true. No, it's more than 8 seconds.
$5 then.
But people will get hurt in the first time, or at least the old people will. People like
I'm not going on yet. I was supposed to be skating this afternoon with the boys.
But because your back,
I played soccer a little bit yesterday, and my back woke up this morning. And my back was tight. I was like, I'm gonna slip out and pull something, or
just wreck your surgery. That'd be a disaster.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So.
Anyway, so yeah, Beekman Auction's coming up. You can bring your stuff. I mean, we take pretty much anything. We'll sell anything. Yeah.
I was actually thinking about this week, and I got the email from you guys. I was like, I'm gonna go find some vehicles or something to put in there.
Just cheap stuff off marketplace, free stuff that people want to get rid of.
Yeah.
We do have a lot fee.
Yeah.
So we don't take straight garbage, right? Or you have to like combine garbage together.
Well, no,
Like our lot fee's $30, I think.
And then I thought it was
plus
120.
the commission. No,
Okay.
it's 30.
Oh, okay. 30's not too bad.
No, but if the item sells for 20, I mean, we send you a bill for like $15, right?
Yeah.
Like that does happen, right?
Yeah.
We've had people mail us a check back. It's pretty funny. Just amazing people.
$15 check. Are you going to put that tractor again that you had problems with last year? That was actually there's a tractor that you put in there that's been in your auction like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, that happens every time. Like I always say it's a recycling program. It's literally.
But
just a
this is the one
program.
that like it wasn't actually, there was something mechanically wrong with it, and that wasn't clear.
Disclosed?
Disclosed.
Would either be fixed or it'd be disclosed the next time.
Okay.
I mean, there again, that's the challenge of running an auction company, right? Dealing with shysters on the selling side.
Yeah.
And people on the honest on the buying side, and then or even dishonest and just maybe they did know but they claim they didn't. Or
Yeah.
I always say, and this is a huge debate amongst I think auction people in general. It'd be interesting to know other auction companies how they deal with it. But it's like I always feel like say nothing, and then people get angry. Oh, you didn't describe it. Well, do your homework. It says right on there, as is, where is. Do your own homework.
Yeah.
Once you start saying it started and ran, it needs to start and run, or
Yeah.
we're standing behind it, or good running unit, or
Yeah. Oh,
I always say, well, it worked well the last time we used it, right? But I mean,
anyways, guys, I'm good. Thanks for listening.
cannot parent and do a podcast at the same time. I think women are a lot better at multitasking. My
Nicole
wife can
certainly
literally
is the
have
baby. Nicole can carry this guy all day
and do all kinds of
and
stuff
do all
the whole
kinds of
time.
stuff.
My
And I'm
wife
like,
too.
Where is the
Even
where is the
conversation.
Tylenol so I can put him to sleep?
I can't even have a conversation and like parent to child in any way.
Yes.
I can't even think
Yes.
and parent to child.
It is.
My brain's shut.
Hard. It is hard. I
Anyways.
actually started telling the boys now, which has been really helpful when they want to talk to me and I'm talking to someone else, put their hand on my shoulder or touch my hand, and then I'll squeeze back. And so
That's their cue.
that I acknowledge that they want to talk to me because they just want to be acknowledged, right? And then
Our kids just yell and tell the answer.
and then when I'm done talking, then I'll talk to them. But it has really, really helped.
Okay.
Because
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, have a great week. Talk to you next time.
Peace.